button turns on. Camera's off. Go on air. Click it.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all you fine Raider fans out there to Regis Jesuit High School for this heavyweight women's basketball bout between the #1 Highlands Ranch Falcons and your very own #2 Regis Jesuit Raiders. I'm Steven Snyder here, joined by my fantastic color man, Joe Quigley, our producer,
Davis Handler,
and our fantastic camerawoman, Joy Barber. For those of you following us on Twitter, Sean Whitley will be tweeting for the RJ Voice. Joe, we have quite a matchup here tonight.
This game is one of the biggest games for the season for these Raiders. It's #1 versus #2, the biggest game of the regular season, if not the championship come playoffs. This is going to be a wild game tonight.
And I definitely think these ladies could see each other again, so this might be round one. Just like any good Ali Frazier fight, #1 versus #2. They could definitely see each other down the road. Joe, what are your keys to the game for both teams?
The keys to the game for the Raiders, they need to start shooting a lot better on their offensive possessions. Their field goals are 60% on the season, but they're only scoring 60% on each possession. So they need to definitely make that number a lot higher. They need to execute every time they have the ball, because this Highlands Ranch team will come out fast and let them know it. And for the Highlands Ranch Falcons, I believe they need to out-rebound these Raiders and definitely get up quick and stay ahead. Step on the gas and keep going.
We'll take a quick break for our national anthem. We'll be right back. And welcome back, to Regis Jesuit for tonight's matchup. So, Joe, as you're going through your keys, that is true. That's really shocking. Raiders only getting shots on 60% of their possessions. At least that was last game. So definitely need to improve upon that, because if you take about even a good 50% shooting percentage, that kicks it down automatically to 30% of possessions that they score on. And you just can't have that in a game. Excuse me, that's actually 20%. So tonight, Joe, I think my key for Regis Jesuit is they need to run the floor. They don't have the height advantage in this contest. Highlands Ranch having 3 people at 5'11" or higher. Regis Jesuit definitely has the height, but their scorers are not the tall ones. I mean, with opposed to Akabogan. Is that correct?
That is correct, Stephen. Thank you.
All right, so with opposed to Akabogan, but Regis needs to run the floor. They need to be a dynamic team. For Highlands Ranch, I think the key tonight is offensive rebounds. The Raiders notoriously poor for boxing out and getting those offensive rebounds.
That is true. They only average, pardon me, about 30 rebounds a game, and that's offensive and defensive on both sides of the court, and that's just not enough.
Indeed, and we will see here as these starting lineups are announced. Any last thoughts, Joe, before we get this game going?
I am super excited for this game. It's going to be a great matchup.
So for those of you at home watching us, this is one of our, I believe this is our first girls basketball regular season game ever broadcast. I believe we had one playoff game last year.
That is correct, and I do believe that playoff game was also the championship, if I'm not mistaken.
So this is the first regular season girls basketball game. Regis Raiders coming into this defending their home court with a record of 95-9. And if that's a home field advantage as I've ever seen one, it's fantastic.
I was talking to some girls about that home court record, and they said that their goal is to keep that 95-9 and only go up in wins. Keep that 9 all the way through their senior year until they graduate. Every single one of them. That's their team goal.
So as we get ready for the tip, coming in to take the tip, number 44, Jordan Molyneux, and Maddie Montgomery for the Falcons, number 11. Maddie Montgomery, one of the high scorers for this team on Ranch, has exactly the same amount of points as Kelsey Wainwright, both of them averaging over 11 points a game. High score for the Raiders at 15.3, Justine Hall. And tip is won by the Falcons. Falcons quickly controlling the ball, kicking up to number 20, Sierra Morgan. Morgan seems to be running this offense. And wow, Morgan really just commanding your teammates wherever they want to go. Back to Morgan. Morgan's now touched the ball 5 times on this possession alone. To Luan. Montgomery with a floater. It will not go. The rebound bobbles around, but rebounded by Ranch. Out the shot, and that will not go for Ranch. But, that is a jump ball. That was between Montgomery and Akabogan. And possession now for the Raiders, but now switch to the Falcons. That can be an advantage later in the game, Joe.
Right away, you see the Raiders not boxing out and getting that offensive rebound, or defensive rebound, pardon me. You need to get that first chance opportunity. And with a steal, down the court for a breakaway is number 20 for Highlands.
Sierra
Ranch.
Morgan can't convert, though, and Raiders on the run again. Number 1, Justine Hall taking it down, passing it out, and that's a travel on the Raiders. Raiders looking flustered in these early moments, Joe.
I feel like that's because Highlands Ranch came out and set the pace at 100% right away. No holds barred. They just went out from the gate flying, and I feel like the Raiders don't know how to react to it now.
Back to Hickey. Hickey will take it across half court. Hickey finds Morgan. Morgan driving, has an awkward floater, but gets it to sink. And Highlands Ranch now up 2-0, 1 minute into this contest.
That was a beautiful shot. Just absolutely great form, planting the feet, square into the basket, and letting it go.
Lidge will take it up here. Gets it inside to Akabogan. Akabogan is trapped under the basket, but gets it up and in. And that's the post play the Raiders need to see tonight. They need to keep that consistent. That'll be out of bounds. Stay with Highlands Ranch.
That was a great post play from Akabogan. That's what the Raiders are going to need all night, is to get one good spin move to the basket and put it home, maybe even draw a couple fouls.
Montgomery to Hickey. And Montgomery can't control, but that'll be a Highlands Ranch ball anyways. And that'll be Morgan to inbound. Morgan can't really find someone. Looking for Wainwright. Oh, it gets tipped, and that'll be intercepted by Justine Hall. Hall working it up. Morgan really making Hall work to get it up the court. And Tazinski taking it in. Tazinski with the kick to Akabogan. Akabogan with the kick to Lidge. And Lidge tries to hand it off to Hall. And they will say that is a blocking foul on Morgan. I don't know. It looked like a couple feet tangled, but I could definitely see that call going that way, Joe.
From my vantage point, I saw that she did not have her feet set. She was still in the process of sliding over, trying to get the steal. That's a good call by the ref.
Lidge looking for the inbound. Finds Akabogan right back to Lidge on the give and go. And Lidge with a great layup. Montgomery with a poor pass to Morgan on the start. And that'll come back down to this end because it wasn't touched, Joe. That means the Raiders, it was touched. But the Raiders getting the ball right back there with a 4-2 lead. 2 minutes into this contest. Tazinski taking it up. Tazinski looking for the screen from Akabogan and drives with the kick, but the kick to nobody.
Those are the mistakes you can't have by both teams. You cannot pass it out of bounds when you're inbounding after you've just been scored on. You have to execute the little things very well in a game like this.
Morgan bringing it up. Finds Hickey. Hickey to Luan. Morgan trying to get inside to Montgomery. Stolen by Hall.
That is Hall's second steal for the night.
Hall running the length of the court and putting it in with a layup. And that's going to be a timeout Highlands Ranch to get their act together. At the start of this game, it looked like Highlands Ranch was dominating, Joe. But after that, the Raiders just kind of took over. Highlands Ranch made a couple mistakes, and Raiders happened to be on top with the momentum.
I like how the Raiders were flustered on that first possession, but instantly made the corrections they needed to, and now they have the lead. That's great play by these Regis Jesuit Raiders.
So, that's Highlands Ranch. What do you think Highlands Ranch is talking about right now, Joe, in their huddle?
Not giving away the ball. They've had about 3 or 4 turnovers, all of which have resulted in points. So they really need to settle down and hold on to that ball and get some offensive possessions going.
No change for either team. We will leave the starting 5 in. Wainwright looking to inbound. Excuse me, that is Hickey looking to inbound. Hickey finds Morgan, tripped up with the steal, and a nice easy layup off the steal for Monolo. And Highlands Ranch rebounding it quickly. And stolen again. No, Montgomery picks it up. Lidge couldn't get the handles. And finally, Wainwright able to lay one in for Ranch.
I don't think that's quite what the Highlands Ranch Falcons wanted, but they'll take the points they can get.
Tazinski finds Akabogan, finds Lidge open at the top of the key, kicks it to Hall for a 3. No, it won't go. Rebound by Hickey, running up the floor by Morgan. Morgan outmanned 1-4. Oh, but finds Wainwright inside. No foul call there. And Regis will be taking it to, the other way.
And that is Justine Hall's 3rd steal for this night already.
Ooh,
and then you see Tazinski putting it too far over the head of Molyneux, and it's going to be out of bounds.
So Morgan going to take it up for the Falcons again. Morgan finds Hickey. Hickey with a lot of room to work, but gets caught up by Lidge. And Lidge will be taking it the other way. Finds Hall on the quick give and go, and Hall gets it to go. Raiders now lead 10-4.
That is yet another steal, turnover, turning into points for the Raiders.
And they find Morgan inside. Morgan with the drive. Oh, I'm not sure if that was a foul or not, but Wainwright comes down with the rebound for Highlands Ranch. Manages to kick it out to Luan. Wow, refs really letting this game flow, Joe, and you like to see that sometimes.
Yes, you do, and you also like to see these Falcons finally settling down and getting the offensive possession going.
Finds it inside to Hickey. Hickey, nothing go. No foul called. Oh, and that will be... Oh, it looks like Morgan hit her head on the floor there after that collision with Akabogan. Wow, that was a hard collision, Joe. You see those hits in football.
That looked incredibly painful and dangerous, and we do hope she is okay because concussions are some of the most dangerous injuries you can get.
Morgan seems to be the quarterback for this Falcon team. And you know the concerning thing about this, Joe? Since the trainers are on the floor and it's dealing with her head, they're going to have to take her out and do mandatory concussion tests as mandated by high school rules. Those take about a quarter, if not a quarter and a half to complete. So Highlands Ranch is going to have to find a new quarterback for about the next 12 minutes of play, probably till the second half, until they can get Morgan cleared.
And we have her back up. Good to see that she's walking up off own power.
And she knows exactly what's happening. She knows she has to do the concussion test. She is not happy about that. And the trainer's getting right to work doing those tests. We'll see the Raiders set up. Raiders not committed a foul yet. Refs really letting this game run, and we'll see if they are able to do that the whole game. Normally they tighten up in the second half, Joe, but looks like these refs really liberal on the foul calls. We'll see as Hall finds Tazinski on the inbound. Tazinski walks it up, guarded by Hickey. Tazinski gets the post, gets the open pop, and she will drop it. What a great play there if you can hit the outside two for the Raiders.
That is a beautiful pull-up jumper from Tazinski. I'd love to see that out all night. And another steal.
Poor pass, and Lidge finds Hall and gets it again. I think if you're Highlands Ranch, you need to call another timeout, Joe. You can't let this go. 21 subbing in. Starks for Morgan. Oh, finds open. Falcons have a 3-on-2. Oh, foul finally called on the Raiders there. Montgomery pulled up for a really ill-looking jump shot. If you're the Raiders, you can't foul there.
No, you cannot, because Montgomery is an excellent free throw shooter, and she's going to take these free points. She misses the first one off the front of the rim. Kind of uncharacteristic.
And again, this Highlands Ranch team actually only averaging 64% from the line. Very poor, and she will miss both. And Akabogan with the rebound. Raiders lead by 10, 14-4 here with 3:20 left. Tazinski bringing the ball up against Starks. Starks staying with her through all the screens, but they find inside to Lidge. Lidge misses the very easy layup, rebounded by Montgomery. Here comes Starks. Starks running the floor. Power hop. Luan finds Hickey on the outside. Hickey tries to find Montgomery on the inside. No can do. Rebounded by Monolo. Lidge taking it up again. Finds Tazinski on the outside for three. And just like her brother Joe, she can drain him.
Absolutely beautiful three from Tazinski. That is an all-around player. Being able to drive the lane, take a pull-up jumper, and knock down the three when you're taken open.
And Wainwright tries to answer with a three, can't go, and that'll be a foul on Monolo as she just kind of ran over Hickey there.
Molyneux was so much taller than she was. It looked like she went over the back, but really she was just reaching for the ball.
So we'll see here as we'll have Starks go to the line. Raiders now leading by 13, Joe, 17-4. Highlands Ranch looking flustered. Or, excuse me, Starks will not go to the line. My bad.
And
timeout, Regis.
And here we have Sierra Morgan back in the game already.
So it was probably very evident, Joe, that she did not have a concussion. It's always good to hear.
But it also could not have been something she wanted to happen during that game.
Definitely. And with 2:44, Joe, Highlands Ranch just needs to clean up their fundamentals. They have the plays working. Regis is playing great defense. Very aggressive. If you're Highlands Ranch, you need to look to burn them on them. Just do quick passes to get around those traps.
Highlands Ranch is executing their offense phenomenally, but that execution can't happen unless you have the fundamentals down, like inbounding the ball and breaking the press. So they can't run their high-powered offense without doing the little things right first.
Regis Jesuit with 6 or 7 steals already tonight, Joe. So if Regis can keep doing that, we'll have something to work off of. Highlands Ranch, I think, glad they didn't have to call a second timeout because you don't want to call two this early in the game.
And all of those steals have either resulted in points, a shot, or a shot followed by a second chance.
Subbing in for the Raiders, we will have Lockley coming in for Monolo. I believe Monolo already has 2 fouls, Joe, and that's the reason for the sub. Morgan looking to inbound. Hickey coming out to put Morgan in the game. Morgan looking, finds Wainwright. Wainwright back to Morgan. Morgan looks, finds Luan. Luan finds Morgan. Highlands Ranch running a very intricate running offense. And Morgan stops, finds Luan at the top of the key for 3, and can't hit. Montgomery with another attempt to read. Nobody can find the ball, and that's a kick on Highlands Ranch. I saw a couple players kick that there, Joe, but ref saw it, so Tazinski will inbound to Morgan.
That's the second shot Ranch has taken that's rattled in and out of the rim and ended up in the Raiders' hands.
So we'll see here. Tazinski brings it up against Morgan. Tried to drive. Morgan shuts her out. Ooh, nice switch by Highlands Ranch. Raiders did not see that one coming. And Hall seems to be trapped. And that's a questionable foul there, Joe. I thought that was ball.
It looked like all ball from here, but we also see our coach asking for a timeout, but didn't quite get it off before the foul was called.
And I believe that's Morgan with her third foul now. So Morgan's going to have to take another seat again. Coming in for her, number 15, Emily Childress.
That's 3 quick fouls right in the first quarter. That's going to come back to you later in this game when it comes to crunch time.
Especially with a 5 foul out limit. Tazinski looking for Akabogan. Akabogan finds Tazinski up top. Tazinski, nice drive, kicks to Lidge. Lidge with a shot fake. Ooh, poor pass decision there. Luan going into the splits on that rebound. Finds it. Starks with an amazing drive. Wow, what a drive by Starks, Joe.
That was an incredibly talented play, getting that layup to fall from a very awkward angle, and she was going full speed. Well done.
Ooh, pass all the way across the court to Hall from Lidge, and Hall drains it 19-6 here with 1:30 left in this first quarter. Pass from Starks finds Montgomery. Montgomery driving. Looks, finds Childress. Childress can't hit the 3. Bounces around. Luan can't find it, and that will be a jump ball. That'll be a Highlands range ball. Possession arrow switching twice in this first quarter. Joe, that's rarely ever seen.
It rarely ever switches twice an entire game, let alone this first quarter.
Both teams battling for the ball really hard there. For the inbound, finds Montgomery. Montgomery out to Wainwright. Childress trying to find something. Childress has to go back to Montgomery. Finds Luan in the middle. Luan with a quick jumper. Can't hit. And that'll be a foul on Wainwright. Wainwright does not look happy about that one, but that wasn't over the back. No, they're calling it a push.
Either way, it was a rebounding foul. Now the Raiders are going to take it up, take their time, get their offense rolling.
Hall bringing it up, quarterbacking this Regis team. Hall with the drive on the outside, finds it in, taken away by Luan. And she has so many open Raiders, Joe. She's got to rethink that sometimes.
Sometimes when you're going full speed to the basket, you forget to look for who's open because you're just moving so quick.
Wainwright can't get it. And they are going to call the foul on Montgomery. Montgomery wanted a jump ball. Both teams playing with a lot of heart here tonight.
These teams are playing 110%. There's so much speed out here. They're going as fast as they can, trying to get these rebounds, get these shots off, get it going.
Tazinski bring it up 19-6 Raiders as this quarter winds down its last 40 seconds. And Tazinski pops and drops. Wow, Tazinski's on fire today on with that outside shot.
There it is again, driving the lane and pulling up a jumper, knocking it down.
Ooh, awkward pass, but Montgomery able to find it, and Wainwright can't handle the pass from Montgomery. That's going the Raiders' way again. Sloppy basketball from the Falcons here tonight, Joe.
That was awfully close to a backcourt violation, too. She got lucky that it wasn't there, and then she put the ball right out of bounds. You have to keep the ball in your hands and do the little things right.
I think she was kind of looking for where to go before she caught that, Joe.
Catch before you pass, rule number 1.
Raiders looking to hold for the last shot, I imagine. Monolo back in the game. Inside 10 seconds. Hall finds Tazinski. Tazinski gets it off with a nice block, and that'll be the end of the quarter. At the end of the first quarter of play, we've got Regis Jesuit 21, Highlands Ranch 6. And this is not looking like a 1-versus-2 game right now, Joe.
This is not what we expected from these Highlands Ranch Falcons. We expected a tight game all night long, and now 21-6 is just, it's baffling almost.
And so let's see here. If you were the Regis Raiders, what do you tell your players, Joe? Sometimes that's the toughest part is when you're ahead, what do you tell them?
Keep doing what you're doing. It's working. Don't let up. Keep doing everything you've been doing. The only adjustment I think that they would make is to make quicker passes on offense. It looks like they're kind of floating, and Highlands Ranch has noticed that, has been jumping for it, but they're not quite getting there.
And they're quite a crowd here tonight for this showdown, Joe. You know what I think is that if you're Regis Jesuit, you've got to be careful. They have such intensity. But as we came to the end of that quarter, I think conditioning almost became an issue. They were going at it so hard for so long without many subs that they looked tired by the end of that.
I did notice that too, Steve. We'll see how that plays out come fourth quarter because we still have 3/4 of a game to play.
And we'll see here's Hall inbounds to start it to Lidge. Lidge right back to Hall. Childress closely guarding Hall. And the steal by Luan. Luan takes it down the court. She smartly stops. Finds Childress under the basket. Childress can't get it. Oh, but Wainwright gets it back out. Montgomery looking, finds Starks. Starks is quick, Joe. Raiders got to watch out for her.
She is a lightning quick point guard, and that's what you need at that position.
Starks looking for something to do. Can't find anything. Finds Luan out on the wing. Luan back to Starks. Highlands Ranch calming it down, which is what they need right now. Finds Luan out on the wing. Looks, finds Starks at the top of the key open. And Starks cannot hit, but Luan can't get it. Akabogan bring it down. Finds Lidge. And Lidge with the layup and the foul. She'll go to the line for a chance at a 3-point play.
That is a great play by Lidge, going up hard to the basket, not caring what happens, and making sure that ball goes in.
And Highlands Range has really been fouling hard. I mean, that was a good foul, Joe, if you're going to send someone to the line. Lidge just had the skill to get around it.
That's the foul you want to take to try to make her earn those 2 points, but she got it to fall. Now it's lucky for 3.
So we will see here, Raiders leading 23-6. And Lidge will miss the free throw. Rebounded by Luan. And Luan gets the pass off to Hickey. Hickey looking. Hickey finds Luan in the middle. Luan driving, finds Starks. Starks setting it up. Finds Hickey. And they're just passing back and forth right now. Finds Childress inside. Ball poked away, but right out to Wainwright. Looked like it hit Childress in the face there.
It definitely did. You can tell she's grimacing a little bit. Like to see her play through it.
Childress getting the ball back. Childress really getting around those screens, but Highlands Ranch can't find anything. They're looking back to their bench for a play call because this Raider defense is just solid.
It looks like Highlands Ranch is just swinging the ball, looking for someone to get a backdoor screen down to the hoop, and it's only worked once or twice because the Raiders cut it out so fast.
Wainwright and Childress. Wow. This possession lasting almost 45 seconds now with no shot clock. That's an advantage. Blocked, but they get it back out. Childress looking for 3, and she gets it.
That is their first 3 of the night. They are 1 for 4 from the 3 line.
So finally, Highlands Ranch getting something going, but that play took almost an entire minute to develop, Joe.
That was a very long possession, and that would work if they were ahead by a lot because you want to hold on to the ball, but when they're in this deficit, they got a run and gun.
Lidge tries to get it to Akabogan, can't get it. Stolen away by Starks. Childress finding Wainwright, and the foul. Wow, Wainwright, one of their leading scorers, and showing why right there. The body control on that was like that of an NBA player. That's the best body control I've seen men's or women's high school basketball.
That's the absolute kind of presence you need to have when you're going up to the rim and there are bodies all around you. You have to know where you are, what your body's doing, and be able to control it and get it to fall. That is an excellent play.
I mean, no joke, Joe. That body control is compatible with Josh Perkins.
Compatible with NBA players like Ty Lawson.
And Wainwright hits it. Brings them up to 12-23, slowly cutting into the deficit here.
Raiders only putting up 2 points at the start of this quarter, not quite as fast as we saw.
We'll see here, Hall working against Childress. Poor pass by Hall, can't get it to Akabogan. And that will be a Highlands Ranch ball. Timeout Raiders. Raiders getting concerned as Highlands Ranch makes a little surge of their own.
Looks like Highlands Ranch is finally working out those nerves and playing the basketball that their record and they have shown us that they are capable of. And the Raiders feel like they're getting a little nervous seeing that the Ranch players are really coming out and letting them know they're here to play.
And I think if you're Highlands Ranch coach, you still got to work on fundamentals. There's been a couple. They've been playing fundamental defense, Joe. I think if you're Highlands Ranch coach, you say, we're okay with those long possessions. We have got 21 and a half minutes to work with. If those 1 possessions get it done for us, let's work those now. I think that might change at the end of the game, but if you're Highlands Ranch right now, take that minute to score a basket.
Take the points you can get, see what happens later.
Hickey finding it into Starks. Starks double teamed in the backcourt. Hickey looking for someone and finds Childress. Left open right by the basket, Luan. And that's where the full court press gets dangerous, Joe, if they can pass around it.
The Raiders were full court press working really well on the inbound in the very first 2 passes, but once it gets to midcourt, that's when it starts to fall apart.
Tazinski kind of running into her screen with Akabogan, but sets a great one for Lidge. down to Akabogan, who spins it and gets it in.
That is a beautiful low post move from Akabogan. She's going to do that all night long.
Finds Wainwright. Wainwright over to Hickey, and Starks now controlling the ball. Starks looking for help. Finds Childress. Oh, Childress loses the steal. Another steal for Hall, and she will easily finish.
That is Justine Hall's 4th steal from the night. That is absolutely gorgeous play from Justine.
Raiders almost didn't get back in time there. Raiders leading 27-14 here. 4 minutes, about halfway through the second quarter. Off the foot of Luan on the pass from Starks. Akabogan trying to run it. And she will leave that up. I think that was just a foot tangle there. Akabogan looking for the foul but couldn't get it. Starks lightning inside. Tries to drop it, can't get it. And rebound by Akabogan.
Ranch is getting the shots that they want, but they keep rattling in and out of the rim, and it's costing them.
Tazinski controlling the ball. Tazinski driving. Kicks to Hall. Hall to Lidge. Lidge back to Tazinski. Tazinski for a long two. Can't get it. And no Raiders there to rebound, Joe.
There it is. The offensive rebounds we talked about this getting in the game right there. We have to be able to box out, get some second chance points.
So we'll see here. Oh, the three sunk by Hickey over the arm of Hall. What a shot.
That was a great shot. That's as simple as it gets.
Deficit down to 10 now. Lidge working it up against Wainwright. Ooh, Lidge trying to drive. Kicks it out to Hall in the wing. Hall, no can do. Rebound by Starks. Falcons looking to run the floor. Finds Hickey inside. No. Hickey was expecting contact, and I don't think she got any. Ooh, great steal there by Lockley. And Raiders will control the ball again.
That is yet another turnover. That is, I believe, 8 or 9 turnovers, and a turnover against the Raiders.
Great steal by Starks and making it look easy against Tazinski. Raiders just kind of stood there stunned after that steal. Tazinski looked stunned that she didn't have the ball anymore. She just kind of froze for a second. And as Tazinski brings it up court, working against Wainwright, has to hand it off to Lidge. Lidge working inside. Great body check by Wainwright to keep her out. And Lidge losing the ball. And Lidge, oh, great footwork. And she finds Lockley. Lockley will not hit, but Lidge gets inside, and that will be a foul on Highlands Ranch shoot. Lidge will shoot 2.
That's what happens when you get your offensive rebounds, is you take it, go up to the basket as hard as you can, and you'll get a foul and shoot 2.
That was great awareness by Lidge here back at half court, Joe, to make sure she didn't step for the over and back.
She definitely made sure that the ball stayed on the right half of the court while she took her time, while she got back to the correct side.
Lidge hits it. It's her first. She will go to shoot 2 to try to bring this lead back up to double digits. Lidge is up, and no can do. Easily rebounded by Wainwright, who gets it to Starks. Highlands Ranch really looking to run it. Montgomery back in the game for Ranch. And no can do, but no boxing out. And Starks will get it to Wainwright, who will get it right back to Montgomery. Montgomery can't get it. Starks throws it back in, but off the bottom of the backboard, and Lockley will collect. Wow, Regis getting lucky there.
There was 3 chances for a rebound that the Raiders didn't come away with 1 of.
And Akabogan shooting from the free throw line. Won't get it to go, but that'll hit the strap, so that'll be out of bounds. Highlands Ranch ball.
Here we have Wendy Dyer checking in for Lidge, her first minutes for the night.
Lidge looking pretty tired. I think that's why they are putting Wendy Dyer in.
She's also a very good rebounding presence down low. Hopefully she can get some of those for the Raiders.
Looking for Hickey. Hickey kind of been a sleeper today. Regis wasn't expecting. Oh, finds it inside to Wainwright, who will get it to go. And now the deficit back to 7.
That was a great play by the Falcons, working around up top, got their backdoor screen, put it right inside, and got a bucket.
Hall working against Montgomery. Ooh, Hall gets a nice screen. Lockley trying to get it inside, finds Hall outside. Hall digging inside, no.
Too much power on that layup.
Yeah, kind of a runner there. Couldn't really control that. Starks bring it up. Starks finds Lujan. Lujan back to Starks, over to Hickey. Hickey working inside, and she will get stuffed. Ball bouncing around, but Tazinski will control it. Tazinski not going to run it. Going to kind of wait. Well, then she'll decide to That was an awkward time to run, Joe.
That definitely was. She looked like she decided to take her time and then go, maybe catch someone off guard.
Awkward by Jasinski. Can't hit. Lockley can't hit either. Great rebounding by Lujan. Starks bringing it up. Starks slower than normal, but it's fine. Finds Wainwright. Wainwright to Montgomery. Montgomery loses the ball, and the Falcons caught sleeping. And they, really the foul.
I disagree with that foul, but that was a great steal by the Raiders. Looking up court, finding Justine Hall for easy two and a potentially three-point play.
So we'll see here as Hall goes to the line for possible three-point play. And Hall will miss, but rebounded by Hall. She goes in and gets her own rebound. Tzinski finds Hall. Hall just kind of working with it. 13 seconds to go. Waiting for the last shot. Raiders going to take this deficit in. Akabogan gets it in, and that'll end the half. So buzzer beater there by Akabogan will let the Raiders head into half with the 32-21 lead over the Highlands Ranch Falcons. I believe next we have the Raider recap with Joy Barber and Joe Quigley. So we'll see you back here in a second, ladies and gentlemen, for that.
Hello, Raider fans, and welcome to your Raider recap. I'm Joe Quigley, along with Joy Barber, bringing you the halftime show of this Regis Jesuit versus Highlands Ranch showdown, number 1 versus 2, the Rumble in the Jungle. Right now, it is 32-21 in favor of Regis Jesuit. Joy, what do you think of this game?
That was such a fast-paced first quarter and first half. It's just amazing. You know, Regis really has to look out for in the second half that, you know, they still have to be aggressive and all that stuff, because last year they were winning in the first half, Regis was, and then the second half, Highlands Ranch surprised them, and they came back, and Highlands Ranch won 51-45.
That is an excellent point. You have to play 100% throughout the whole game. It's not enough just to play half a game because it can easily slip away. And for the Raiders, they have gotten at least 7 or 8 steals, 5 of which Justine Hall has taken herself, and those have all turned into points. How is that being a factor tonight?
Justine is on her game tonight. Usually Justine's the one that's making all the points, and usually Kelsey's the one that's making the assist and passing and stealing the ball, but it's almost like they switched positions. It's amazing that they're all around players. They can really move and maneuver to different positions.
And Anna Tuzinski has been lights out from all over the court. Threes, mid-range jumpers, down low, layups, anything. She has been phenomenal play. She is an excellent shooter.
She really is. I mean, she's a great three-point shooter, and she's also a great free throw shooter. So she's also an all-around player. That's something about Regis's team, that all the players really know how to pass the ball and shoot from all around the court.
That's an excellent point, too. They're well-rounded players. They can get to the hoop, they can take their outside shots, and they also know how to play together as a team. 'Cause it's one thing to be a very well-rounded player and be very, very good, but it's also just absolutely incredible when you see 5, 6, 7, 8 of those all play together very, very well.
I would say really there's no leader on the team for Regis Jesuit. They are really all leaders. Each of them support each other. It's just amazing.
And thank you for listening to our halftime recap. We will see you back here in a couple of minutes for the start of the third quarter.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this fine establishment, Regis Jesuit High School, for tonight's Thrilla in Manila. 1 versus 2 here. The Highlands Ranch Falcons coming in top rank against the Regis Jesuit Raiders. They've been flip-flopping first and second ratings. Raiders won the first half 32-21, and Highlands Ranch will start with the ball here. Hickey working it around to Morgan. Morgan setting up the offense. Finds Hickey again.
This is the offensive possession the Ranch Falcons have been looking for all night. Slow down, take your time, look for your hoops to the vet.
Lujan for 3, and that'll go off the rim, but rebounded by Wainwright, who finds Hickey. Hickey, quick one to Morgan. Morgan finds Wainwright. Wainwright to Lujan. Lujan finds Montgomery inside. Montgomery gets the floater to go. And that's a 45-second possession there, Joe. That's the time we were talking about they needed to take.
And the important thing is that they got points out of it. They didn't take 45 seconds to a minute just to miss a shot. They needed to get those points, and they did.
And Lidge working against Wainwright. Tries to bust off screen. Wainwright finds her way around that. Switch with Montgomery. Hall working against Hickey. Gets the screen. Lidge finds Monolo. Monolo to Tazinski. Tazinski looks for the shot, decides not to take it, finds Hall. And Lidge working down on the wing. Ooh, almost lost her playing foot until they'll throw it off the foot of Wainwright to get possession.
That was a great play by Lidge, just to slam it right off her feet, let it go out of bounds, and start over.
And Raiders, again, a 38-second possession here to start. Tazinski with the handoff to Lidge. Lidge trying to drive. Not sure what that was. Rebounded by Montgomery.
It was a great block is what that was.
Morgan. Oh, can't find Wainwright. Tazinski had her eyes open. Found it. And she will bring it up the court for the Raiders. Raiders looking for the play call. Oh, Tazinski uses the screen. Finds Monolo up top. Monolo can't find Akabogan on that floater pass. And
that's the play they need to get, though. Just send it right down to the hoop and get some easy points.
So Hickey brings it up. She'll have to go back to Morgan. And Morgan finds Wainwright inside. Wainwright looking for Montgomery. Montgomery gets the pass over to Morgan. Back to Montgomery. Montgomery finds Hickey inside. Hickey with a nice floater over. And all of a sudden, we're back to 7, Joe, 25-32.
This game is just going back and forth, back and forth. This is the matchup we expected now that everybody's kind of got their nerves out of their system and playing basketball they know how to play. Justine.
Sorry, Joe. And Tazinski working against Morgan inside. She has to run back out. Tazinski tries to find Hall. She will find her, but they will call timeout Regis. Regis really not finding any offense. Highlands Ranch has kind of made their defense a steel curtain for the first part of the second half.
And that's exactly what they needed to do. They needed to come out and shut down that high-powered Raiders offense, and look how well it's working for them.
And if you're the Raiders, Joe, I think you need to crank up the intensity. They seem to tone down the intensity, so I think conditioning was an issue that first half. We can deduce.
Absolutely, but they're going just as hard as they can. And I don't think they're going to let up until it's all out there on the court.
I definitely don't think they will, Joe, but the intensity's just been notched down a little to make it more energy efficient, I guess I would say, for the Raiders.
Solar paneling, if you will.
They're solar paneling their aggressiveness. Lidge trying to find Tazinski, and that will be off Morgan. That was a really dangerous pass, and she kind of had Hall open in the backcourt.
I just don't think she recognized Hall in the backcourt. I don't think she want to make that pass. There it is.
There is Hall in the backcourt. So we're against Hickey, who's kind of been a shining star for the Falcons tonight, despite their mishaps. And notice how much space they leave Monolo on the 3. They know she won't take it.
I don't think she should take it either. She's definitely the offensive power and force they need down there to go get those rebounds.
Lidge finding Agabogan. Agabogan backing down, spinning. Monolo gets the rebound, gets it up and in.
And that's exactly what I was talking about.
That's the height you need there, Joe, inside. Morgan finds Lujan. Lujan, poor pass. Intercepted by Agabogan. Throws it forward to Hall. And that'll be a travel. Oh, Joe, how did you botch that? You had a 3-on-1.
That was awfully close. She just picked up her foot a little too soon, didn't get her pass off. That should have been 2 easy points.
So Hickey looking, finds Morgan in the front court. Morgan finds Hickey. Lujan finds it inside to Wainwright, who tries to switch hands there. Almost gets it done, but off the outside of the rim, and Raiders will bring it up again.
The Raiders have definitely got their rebounding in order now. They're getting defensive and offensive rebounds. It's good to see that change from this first half.
Ooh, switch confuses Wainwright, gets it to Lidge, who gets it inside to Monolo. Monolo forced out early in the first half due to foul trouble. Ooh, double teaming Morgan here. And with some quick pass switches, they will find Hickey wide on the wing, but Hickey can't hit the three. Wainwright keeps it in bounds, though. Finds Hickey up top. Morgan driving with the floater. No, it won't go. Rebounded by Akabogan.
And another great rebound from the Raiders.
Raiders trying to run the court. Oh, Tazinski driving inside, swatted by Montgomery, and that ball might be deflated, Joe.
That was powerful. An absolutely powerful block.
And subbing in for the Raiders, coming in for Monolo, is number 24, Lockley. That's a really interesting call with how well she's been doing this half.
It looks like the Raiders are going small, maybe giving Monolo a little rest, protecting her from fouls.
And gets it out to Lockley. Lockley will miss, and rebounded by Wainwright. And they will say she was... That will be a foul. I was going to say that might have been elbows on Wainwright, but that'll be a reach-in by Lockley.
That was a good call. That was a good call. There were 3 of them all reaching in. There's not much she could do. It was a foul. Simple as that.
Morgan finds Lujan. Lujan back to Morgan. Morgan back to Lujan. Lujan finds Montgomery inside. Montgomery almost loses the handle, and they'll say that is a jump ball.
And so another jump ball. That, I believe, is the 3rd jump ball for the evening.
That is the 3rd jump ball. Possession now will go in favor of the Raiders. Switching back to Hines Ranch now.
Would like to point out that Morgan is still in the game despite that first quarter injury and her 3 fouls.
Starks coming in. Monolo back in. Starks coming in for Montgomery. Stasinski brings it up the court. Starks a very fast player as we saw in the first half. Now that she's rested, I imagine we'll see that speed. Ooh, almost stolen away. Dumps it off to Lockley. Lockley back to Tazinski. Tazinski, stops and pops but will not drop. And now Highlands Ranch on the run. Morgan. Oh, what a great fake, but she can't finish. And a 4th jump ball.
Another jump ball. And that was a beautiful fake on that layup. She sold it, and the Raiders bit on it.
So Morgan looking to inbound. And she'll be looking for Wainwright here. And she will instead have to find Hickey. Hickey kicks it out to Starks. Starks. Oh, great little move, but can't get it. But Wainwright will get the rebound. No, and that'll be off of Monolo. Highlands Ranch ball.
This is the offense we're used to seeing from the Falcons. Just chance after chance after chance.
Raiders leading by 11, 36-25 here. Hall checking back in. Oh, finds Wainwright under the hoop. Great quick play there.
That is just a great inbound play. The Raiders need to see that player coming down from the top and just get in the way to get a block.
Tazinski working against Starks. Ooh, Morgan comes over to cover, and they'll find Hall in the corner. Hall working it out. Hall driving. Shot from the side that will fall.
Hall has been playing a phenomenal game this evening. Absolutely incredible. Great shooting, great steals.
She definitely has. Highlands Ranch working a quick little offense. Wainwright gets the rebound, though, but can't get it. Wainwright gets the rebound again, and this time we'll get the shooting foul. Wainwright, rebounding beast tonight, Joe.
Absolutely, and there's just more second chances for these Falcons. We can see how she do from the line. Falcons not historically great from the line as a team, and she'll knock in the first one.
Falcons again shooting 64% from the line as a team.
Lockley checks back into the game.
Lockley will be checking in, and she checks in for Tazinski. Wainwright hits 2. And that will bring the lead back down to single digits, 9 for the Raiders. Hall bringing it up. Lidge back in the game for the Raiders. And Lidge trying to work inside. Finds Lockley, who gets it in to Akabogan. Akabogan spinning, trying to get it. And another jump ball.
5 jump balls, 5 possession arrow changes. This is almost unheard of for any level game.
And if that's actually, it will be Regis's ball with all the possession arrow changes. So Lidge looking to inbound. Lidge tries to find Lockley, and that will be out on Highlands Ranch. Morgan tipped that last. Very dangerous inbound.
That's a great effort, selling out, trying to get that ball all the way to the sideline.
So, oh, stolen by Starks. Stolen right back by Lockley. Great heads-up play by Starks, but Lockley there to make sure nothing happened. Lidge trying to work against Starks.
That's absolutely what you need after you get the ball taken away from you.
Lidge gets the floater to go. 29-40, Raiders lead. Morgan driving. Morgan finds it out to Wainwright, who finds Starks. Starks gets her three-pointer blocked. Finds it ahead to Lidge. Lidge with the easy layup finish.
Beautiful, beautiful layup. And after that, you saw Lidge pointing to the bench asking for a sub.
And that will be a timeout. Regis Jesuit. Get some fresh legs in there, I imagine. Get some rest.
And we will be back in a few moments for the continuation of this third quarter here on RJ Live.
And welcome back, folks, to Regis Jesuit for this number 1 Highlands Ranch versus number 2, your Regis Jesuit Raiders here. 1 minute and 4 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Regis Jesuit leads 42-29 over the Falcons. Falcons inbound. Hickey gets it to Morgan. Morgan working. Great pass fake. Finds Childress.
Out to Morgan down in the corner. Puts up a 3, missed.
And Morgan. Lockley can't control the ball, and that's a travel. She looked like she was taking a couple extra steps there, Joe.
Although that was a travel, that was a beautiful effort play to get that ball to go in. Hopefully get anything out of it.
We'll see if Highlands Ranch saves for last shot here with 40 seconds remaining. Doesn't look like it. Wainwright spinning, kicks it out to Childress. Childress for 3. Will not go. Akabogan. We'll see if Raiders hold for last shot.
You see Coach Maddie giving out directions saying, hold the ball for this last shot. We want to keep it.
And attempted steal by Morgan, and they say that is a hold on Tazinski. Falcons will get the ball back, and looks like Morgan had the steal, so I'm going to agree with that call, Joe.
That was a good call. I agree, too.
And I imagine Highlands Ranch will definitely hold for last shot now with only 21.8 seconds remaining on the clock.
With the way they've been playing offense, it kind of seems like they'd have to. Definitely just holding it on that 3 arc, just taking their sweet time. Works inside.
Ooh, finds an inside play. Wainwright fouled, and she'll have a chance for a 3-point play. 11.3 seconds there, and Joe, I mean, you want to hold for the last shot, but if you get an opportunity like that, you got to take it.
I mean, I wouldn't say no to points either if I was the Falcons.
Oh, Joe, you make me giggle. Wainwright looking for another 3-point play on the night. Wainwright's been consistent from the line tonight. And Wainwright puts it up, and no, it will not fall. So Wainwright cannot complete the 3-point play. Lidge running the floor, looking, finds Lockley. Lockley for 3, no can do. And Hickey puts it up, but it won't get there. And at the end of the third quarter, the Raiders lead 42-31. And they've been controlling the game, Joe. I don't know. Highlands Ranch needs to maybe up the tempo.
It's definitely time for Highlands Ranch to keep their good offensive possessions going, but speed it up because they only have so much time to cut in this deficit while they have to play solid, lights-out defense.
Both schools scoring 10 points that quarter. Deficit/lead remaining unaffected as we head into our final 8 minutes of play here. Joe, what do the Raiders have to do to hold on to this lead?
Don't make careless mistakes. Don't turn over the ball. Don't take bad shots. And don't commit bad fouls.
So what I'm hearing is just solid basketball. You just play fundamental solid basketball, Joe. Is that correct?
Essentially.
All right. And I think if you're the Highlands Ranch Falcons, you got to think, I mean, you haven't been shooting outside a lot. I think you got to get in there. You got to get the Raiders to commit fouls. You got to make Monolo foul out. You got to get Akabogon some fouls. You got to get Lidge some fouls. You got to get those Raiders fouls and in trouble and make them put their smaller people in.
Yes, you do. And a quick mention about our RJ Voice on Twitter. If you're not able to watch these broadcasts, check them out on Twitter at RJ Voice. We have live score updates from each game.
Hickey finds Morgan up top. Working. Hickey fakes the three. Finds Lujan. Lujan kicks it out. Morgan gets the shot. No can do. And Monolo will tip that out. Tazinski will control. A quicker possession there for Ranch than in past quarters. Only 20 seconds. Ooh, Hall driving. Stops and tries to get it to drop, but Akabogon gets the rebound. And they will kick it out to Hall. Lidge now sitting there.
Tazinski's begging for the ball over there. No one was over.
Lidge finds Hall. Hall gets it into Monolo. And Monolo uses their size to overpower. Morgan finds Childress. Childress getting inside to Wainwright. Wainwright, gets it into Morgan, who tries to lay it in, and that'll be a foul on Morgan for pulling Lidge down.
And I believe that is her 4th foul on the night. She is getting dangerously close to sitting down.
So Montgomery and Starks checking in for Wainwright and Childress. Wainwright, again, the leading scorer for this team, so got to wonder if they just need Montgomery's height in there.
I'm surprised Morgan's still in there with 4 fouls.
And Hall kicks it out. Tazinski, and that will be a blocking foul on Morgan. We'll see if that's number 5.
I do believe that is her 5th foul, and there she goes. Done for the rest of the evening. I feel like Coach should have taken her out after that 4th one.
I think, Joe, at this point in the game, they just need her in for the scoring purposes. I think you had to risk it. Regis leading by 13. You need to risk it. Akabogon managing to dribble around Lujan. Lujan putting up a real fight. Switching. Lujan now on Lidge. Lidge slips. And that will be... And they will call that a jump ball, so it'll be Highlands Range ball. Joe, I don't think I've ever seen this many jump balls in a game. That's number 6.
I've never seen this many jump balls. I am shocked by that. It's incredible.
Is that a jump ball? I thought the possession now was in favor of Highlands Ranch.
They signaled for a jump.
And she... Oh, that is a hold on Lujan. Maybe that was a foul, Joe.
I guess it was. I guess they signaled for the jump originally and then changed their call.
So, Tazinski working against Starks. Tazinski will break it down and get inside. Hands it off to Lidge. Lidge kicks it out to Monolo. Monolo will sink. And Highlands Ranch really needs to pick it up here if they want to make this a game. Starks running down against Tazinski. Finds Lujan. Finds Montgomery. Montgomery looking for Lujan. Lujan fakes the shot, gets inside, and will get the foul on Monolo. I don't know how many that is on Monolo. And we will see. I believe that's 4 on Monolo.
And I just discussed with our official consultant, Matt Mortensen. He said that because it was called a jump ball, the Raiders were calling for a timeout while she had possession, and it took a little bit for the refs to call the timeout for the Raiders, so they gave him the ball on the sideline.
So Lujan hits both. and shrinks this deficit to 13, 33-46. Monolo coming out for Lockley. Monolo having 4 fouls. So Lidge gets it into Hall. Highlands Ranch down a full court press, but Raiders run it beautifully to get out of that. Hall looks for the lane, but she'll stop early, and she will drain the long 2.
Another great pull-up jumper from these Raiders. They are on fire tonight.
Starks driving. Starks blocked. Lockley running it 3-on-1 with Hall. Pass it down to Hall, who gets inside of Lidge. Lidge has to take it back out. You never like to see that, Joe.
That's great awareness by Lidge. Understanding that the entire Ranch team was already backing in the hole. Just take it out and set up some offense.
And Lidge driving. Finds Lockley inside. Hall hits the 3. And call me Kobe. She is just draining them from all over the floor tonight.
She and Tazinski have been on fire with their shooting. It is incredible. They're having great nights.
Lead now up to 18. Montgomery gets it inside, and they will call that a charge.
That is a charge.
Ooh, brutal night for the Falcons. Don't seem to be playing Falcon basketball tonight, Joe.
They do not. It is uncharacteristic of this Highlands Ranch basketball team.
So as the Raiders lead by 18, Highlands Ranch needs to get something going. Threes. Oh, they throw it long court down to Hall. Hall able to get the handle. Lockley picks it up, finds Lidge. Lidge back to Hall. Hall looking for some help. Back to Lidge. And poked out, and that will be a Regis basketball.
Watching Justine and Tazinski shoot, their form is almost perfect. It's just absolutely great to watch.
Starks pressuring Tazinski in the backcourt. She has to throw it up to Lidge. Lidge finds Akabogan. Akabogan with her signature spin move. And they will say that she didn't have her feet set, and that's a foul on Hickey.
She didn't have her feet set, and if this was in the NBA, she would have also been inside that ring.
She was in the, what's that called, Joe?
I do believe it's called the restricted zone.
Restricted zone, that is it. Akabogan with the shot, and she will get it.
Akabogan's only a 37% free throw shooter on the season, but it's good to see her knocking those down.
See Monolo checking back in for Regis. And she will hit both. So 37%. She doesn't care. She is killing it. And that will be a timeout, Regis Jesuit, making sure they have their head straight as the lead is now up to 20. I think if you're Highlands Ranch, you got to start hitting the threes, Joe.
You got to start hitting threes, hitting twos, getting layups, hitting free throws. Every single time you put that ball near the basket, it better go in.
And I don't, what would you suggest for them on defense? You know, Regis is just going to time eat.
I would suggest a full court press followed by full court man. They need to go away from the zone and just play 100% just what we call a red defense in lacrosse world, where you just play hip to hip with every single player.
And I think if they can maybe create some turnovers, definitely looks like they have their shooters in. They have Hickey, Starks, Wainwright, and Childress, and Lujan. All of them have been known to pop a tray from time to time. So definitely getting their shooters in. 4:46 remaining in this quarter. Shout out to the fantastic athletic director here, Mr. Kozlowski. He's done so much for us tonight and getting us set up and for this girls basketball program.
It's great to have people like him in our program.
And Lujan finds Hickey. Hickey to Starks. Starks to Lujan. Lujan over to Childress. Childress drives and can't get it over, but Lujan gets the rebound. Finds Starks. Starks tries to get inside. Lujan controls. And Lujan with the spinning move can't get it. Akabogan with the rebound. Akabogan running the court. And she will kick it off to Tazinski.
Akabogan's rebounds in this fourth quarter have been crucial for this Raiders play.
Finds Lidge. Lidge trying to get the handle. Manages to kick it over to Tazinski. Back to Lidge. Over to Hall. Hall to Tazinski. Running some quick pass offense. Hand off to Lidge. It's been her key all night. Oh, she tries to drive. Lujan just getting A hand on that to kick it out, and that will be a backcourt violation for the Raiders. And that's what the Raiders don't need to do here, Joe. But it's the fundamental basketball we're talking about.
That is exactly what Highlands Ranch needed to do, was press out and make them commit a mistake.
So as we see here, Hickey hanging out up top, looking for something, finds Childress, finds Starks. Starks steps to the side, pops the three, way over, and that'll be a Regis Jesuit ball. Lujan in disbelief.
Looked like she was almost reaching over for the rebound, and that's here we are.
I think we'll go to our officiating consultant, Matt Mortensen, for this one. And as we do that, we'll look at Hall inbounding to Akabogan, back to Hall. And Hall getting the drive on Hickey. Hall will not finish. And that'll be out of bounds, though. Highlands Ranch can't get the handle. Regis ball.
And after consulting with our officiating crew, Matt Mortensen, he says that the Highlands Ranch player was fully boxed out, but she prevented the Raiders from getting the rebound, and that's why it's a foul.
Okay. Hall getting the ball inside, looking, and that will be a... And that'll be a body check or a hit on 23.
I believe that sign is a reach, maybe? Or just
there's a foul on Hickey. That's all we can be sure of.
And that is a fact.
So Akabogan looking for the inbound. We have great seats here tonight, Joe.
Right at floor level. This is the best place to see the game.
And tries to get it to Monolo, and that'll be another Regis ball. Ooh, rough stuff. Highlands Ranch running out of time here. Regis looking to take back that #1 seeding and keep their home record with only 9 losses on it.
The clock is ticking ever closer to midnight on Highlands Ranch Reign at #1.
Ooh, Lidge inbounding it off the back of #3, Sarah Powner. Seeing the court for the first time today, kind of getting it in on her own and getting the foul. Smiles all around from that play. And Regis sending nobody at the line. Lidge hits her first.
On that inbound play, we noticed the ball was inbounded in off the back of one of the Ranch players. I like to call that the Chauncey Billups play.
That's what I was saying. Is that inbound off the back of Powner. Lidge passing to herself. Powner putting up the 3, trying to redeem herself. No can do. Lidge gets the ball, tries to run. Stops herself and gets it over to Tazinski. Tazinski knows she has to get up court, finds Lidge, and that'll be a foul. See who that's on. It might have been Hickey with the hold. No, it'll be Wainwright. No, it is on Hickey. And so the Raiders will go to the line again.
And I do believe the Raiders are in double bonus now. That's going to be important if they can hit these free throws.
And they're actually in the, yes, high school 7 is double bonus, correct, Joe?
Yes, it is.
All right. I know 7 in college is the single bonus. So might have gotten a little confused there, but
and she knocks down both. 37% free throws does not matter to Akabogan.
So Highlands Ranch passing around. You know they have to start taking threes. It's that kind of time. I don't know why they're taking so much time on these possessions.
Because that's all that's been working for them. They have to take the time, otherwise they haven't gotten any points as a result.
And Wainwright trying to hit the 3. No can do. Ooh, Hickey with a great save, and that'll be a foul on the Raiders. What a great play by Highlands Ranch there.
That was just an absolute effort play, trying to keep that possession going.
Only 2:30 left, Joe, and I'd say the Raiders pretty much have this one well in hand as we head to the end.
I would like to say that too, but I also don't want to speak too soon.
Indeed. And Powner with the 3. Doesn't get it to go. Oh! Lidge ripping down Hickey. And that'll be 2. Oh, I believe it's a 1-and-1, Joe.
It is 1-and-1. And that was a very hard foul, but it's good to see Wainwright just pop right back up and take her shots.
Is that 5 for Lidge?
I believe it is.
That is. Hickey, it's the first one, and she will hit it. So she will get to take a chance at her second.
That's what the Highlands Ranch Falcons need, too, is make sure they're hitting the free throws when they get them.
56-35 after she hits both those. Deficit down to 21. Oh, quick give and go to Hall. And Hall running it over to Jasinski. Raiders really picking up the speed to make sure Highlands Ranch can't stay with them. Hall on the drive.
That is going to be a charge on Justine Hall. She went up very aggressively to the basket, and it was a great defensive play getting her feet set.
Hickey, really shining star for Highlands Ranch in these dark times. Getting that charge there, getting her feet set.
And I've noticed that without the presence of Morgan and Montgomery out on the floor, these Raiders are really just picking apart the middle because Montgomery's size is nowhere to be found, and that presence is just absent. And the Raiders recognized it and just ran with it.
Indeed. So 2 minutes, 21-point deficit here, Joe. If you're Highlands Ranch, what do you focus on at the end of this game?
You focus on playing basketball the way you know how, because they haven't been doing that too well for the first part of this fourth quarter. So they can just turn it on for the next 2 minutes and might be able to win.
And a shout out to Mr.
Fanukin, one of our ASC guys over in the stands, coming out supporting his Raiders, even though he's only been here since August. Good to see him out here.
Yeah, and he's just fantastic, man. So shout out to all our Regis faculty. Work so hard every day with this team and in the classroom. Then we have a lot of Regis teachers here tonight. I saw Mr. Mays. I saw Mr. Weber. Just a lot of Regis. So Starks finding Hickey. Powner. Kicking it over, finding Starks. Hickey with the three, and she'll get it.
That is what they need. They need a lot more of those two.
So we will see here, looking for the inbound. Gets it to Hall. Really interesting matchup to put Powner on Hall. Powner hasn't been in all day. Oh, Tazinski getting it in the open court. Smartly just dribbling around, killing clock. Ooh, Justine Hall gets it. Can't really see. Hair's over her face. And Monolo getting it through.
Great play by Monolo. And while we have a minute, special shout out to Noah Utesh, one of our fans watching at home. Great to see you. And Justine takes the ball away, goes up and gets fouled. She'll shoot two.
And shout out to our other viewers, Jose Shalit and Tom Beasley, all of which tuning in. Shout out to all you guys tuning in out there. It's great to have you here for this debut of regular season girls basketball. Justine Hall with the shot, and she will hit one.
And you hear the Regis Jesuit coaches telling their players, absolutely no fouls, and Molyneux gives him a little smile and a chuckle saying, I don't know about that one, coach.
And so Stark brings it up. Hickey, quick three, no can do. Akabogan, that will be a foul, and she'll head down to the other side of the court to shoot two.
And that is the exact opposite of what the Falcons needed on that play. Hickey went from draining a big three all the way just to straight air ball on that three. They really need to get some consistency out of their offense.
And Akabogan at the line, 4 for 4 tonight. And make it 5 for 5. Joe, who told you she shot 37%?
Max Preps told me, but I guess she does not care what the statistics say. She's going to play her heart out every single night.
Checking in for the first time tonight, Cassie Curry. And Akabogan, 6 for 6. So we will see here what Highlands Ranch does. I mean, if it's desperation time, you got to hit several threes in a row here if you're going to do anything.
And there's the first.
There's the first. Lujan hitting it. And that will bring us up 41-60. Still a 21-point deficit. Lockley working it in. Dyer over to Monolo. Monolo getting the quick two.
That's great ball movement from the Raiders. That's exactly what they need to keep this clock running.
And Powner's going to put up three. No. Rebounded by Lujan. Lujan kicks it out to Starks. Starks for three. No. Lujan with the save to Powner. Powner to Lujan. Lujan across to Hickey. Hickey for 3. Yes! 20 seconds left in this game. 64-44. And that will travel out of bounds. Highlands Ranch ball. And so, man, if only they could have started this like 2 minutes earlier, Joe, Highlands Ranch might have a chance.
If they had started this 2 minutes earlier, maybe they'd started this, at the beginning of the game, it'd be a lot different story.
And Stark's going to try the 3 on the pass from Lujan, and she hits it.
Where were these shooters in the first half?
And Lockley looking, running the baseline, finds Tazinski. And there we go. There's the end of the game. Your Regis Jesuit Raiders prevailing in this 1 versus 2 matchup, 64-47 over the Highlands Ranch Falcons. And tomorrow morning when the city wakes up, Joe, there will be an undisputed number 1 on top.
The Rumble in Jungle comes out with the Regis Jesuit Raiders on top. Fantastic game from both sides tonight. I'd like to thank Mr. Kozlowski, the athletic director over here, getting us set up, and everybody else who helps us put on these broadcasts. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much.
So, Joe, players of the game.
Justine Hall and Agabogan for Regis Jesuit. Agabogan's rebounds and just low post presence were unreal, and Justine Hall was lights out with her shots. Got a lot of steals and turnovers early in the game, started running away with it quick.
All right. And for Highlands Ranch, Joe?
Highlands Ranch, I'd have to say it's either Wainwright or, I believe, Starks. Starks had a phenomenal game.
For me, Joe, for Highlands Ranch, I'm definitely going to have to go Hickey. I was talking about her being the bright spot on Highlands Ranch all game through some rough play. So, Hickey. And for Regis Jesuit, I'm going to go with Lidge. She played really hard all game. She had the drive she wanted, and she really got them going. So, for all of our crew, Davis Handler, our producer, Joy Barber, our fantastic camerawoman, color person Joe Quigley, RJ voice tweeter Sean Whitley, and our officiating correspondent Matt Mortensen, I'm Steven Snyder saying so long and have a great night, Raider fans.